Hi, everyone. Welcome to Content Free Time Interviews. I'm Nathan, and today I'm here having a chat with CRANTIME. Would you like to introduce
Howdy.
yourself?
Hi, I'm Andrew. I've got my YouTube channel, CRANTIME.
How'd you get started with that YouTube channel?
I think the first video I made was like a Game Grumps animated in like 2012 or something, which I then just sat on that and did nothing else until like 2015 when I went off to college and started actually making videos.
Nice. Did you get any engagement with that Game Grumps animated?
I think I got like 25 subs like right off the bat, and then it was just nothing after that. But that was like my biggest jump, like right there, like right immediately for like years.
So, what made you decide to start up again in 2015?
I didn't have internet at home with my parents, so like I didn't have internet until I moved off to college in 2015.
Oh,
And
wow.
like as soon as I had internet, like I already knew I wanted to do like game reviews and stuff. So like as soon as I had internet, just immediately jumped right into it.
Right. That's cool. I noticed the last few months it's been mostly animations on your channel. Have you kind of shifted focus, or are you still planning on doing both?
Yeah, after like 8 years of doing like game reviews, I just like they're just like they're like they're still fun to make, but like they take so long to do, and then they just like weren't getting the attention. Like the effort I was putting into it wasn't like reciprocating as like attention. So like I went to college for animation anyways. So it's like I may as well jump balls deep into something that I'm more into, I guess. Especially when I can get out an animation like once a week and I can like finish one in like an evening as opposed to a full month it takes me to get out a game review, right? And like the meta for that kind of stuff has changed. So like because I'm not making like 40-minute videos, like hour and a half long videos, it's just getting ignored, right? It takes me all month to make like a 20-minute video, like at most it's 20 minutes, and it just wasn't doing it for me. Like I might come back to reviews at some point. I definitely need like a break from it. I feel like I've kind of burnt myself out on it. But the animations have been like super fun so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's super cool that you can output them so quickly.
Hmm.
Because I know animation can be time consuming too. Like
Well, that's
I
why they're all
mentioned,
like 11 seconds long, right?
yeah. So is that what you plan on doing for the foreseeable future? Is just the shorts? You're not working on any longer ones necessarily?
I have started a longer one actually. There's a few longer ones I'd like to do.
Nice.
Um, I actually made like a Pokemon Nuzlocke comic in like 2010, like forever ago. Basically, like to learn like the software and stuff and figure out how to like draw that like that much in a short amount of time. But basically, I finished that in like 2011, and since then, I've wanted to do like a sequel to it in like Gen 2, and it's like, well, that's going to be like a longer like animated thing. I wanted to like fully animate it, so like that's an idea I've been sitting on for like a decade that I might get to at some point. Right now, I'm working on a longer tune for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance
Nice.
because like
So
I'll play a game and like I'll think of like a couple skits that I want to do. Like I finished Tears of the Kingdom and did like 4 skits. By the end of Tactics Advance, I had like 13 in mind, and it's like, oh well, that's just I'm just gonna make a big one then. Screw it.
right, that's perfect. What do you use to animate?
I use Clip Studio Paint.
Have you always used that?
I dabbled in Flash a bit, like that's what that Game Grumps animated was.
Mhm.
But I hate it. It's never been good. So like I ran into CSP and realized that like the animating tools in there is like actually decent. And like right from there, I started like adding animated skits like to my reviews and stuff. And that
Nice.
was kind of like that's kind of what like inched me into fully animated stuff because like I was doing my reviews, I was doing like the stuff that I'd done for years, but then I was like adding animated clips to it, and I'm like, that's the most fun part. That's the part that people love. Why don't I just do that?
That's awesome. Do you use any other software then to like incorporate into that, or do you just mainly do it all in
Um,
Clip Studio?
there's like one or two animations I've done so far where I have like a 3D model in there. So like I've been messing around with Blender a little bit too, but like I'm not very good at it at all. I have literally modeled a dodecahedron, and that's like it.
Yeah, the 3D designing and animating is difficult. I've
It's
dabbled a
it's
bit
it's
too.
tough. It's so hard to wrap your head around it.
Really is. A while back, you started a challenge, a drawing challenge.
Oh, the Pokemon one,
Yeah.
the one that I have completed a couple times.
So are you all caught up now? You've done every single
Oh
one?
yeah, I'm totally caught up. I'm just waiting for new Pokemon. Like it's literally at the point where like they'll do like a direct or something and they'll reveal like two new Pokemon and immediately I'm just like I'm on top of it. I just draw it right there.
That's
Just just
awesome.
to just to make sure I'm sitting at like 100% completion.
That's so cool. How do you stay motivated for that? Gosh, that's a commitment. Every single.
I I don't know. It never stopped being fun.
That's awesome. And I
Because
guess
like
people like that. I loved it seeing your new drawings every day.
I've been drawing Pokemon my whole life basically, right? Because like I've always drawn, I've always been into Pokemon for as long as Pokemon's been out. So it's like it's never not been fun. I've just been doing it forever.
That's awesome. So, did you have a favorite Pokemon to draw?
Favorite Pokemon to draw? So like not like a favorite Pokemon, a favorite Pokemon to
I guess
draw.
both. I want to take a guess. Is your favorite Pokemon Charizard?
It is.
Okay.
It's kind of neck and neck Charizard and Shuckle.
Okay.
They kind of go back and forth. Right now it's Charizard.
Okay. Cool.
I think like Cryogonal and Glalie were like oddly fun to draw. Like I didn't expect them to be as fun as they were.
I re- Cryogonal and Glalie. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
expected that either because they're just like
They're
shapes.
just like they're just heads, but like
Yeah.
Cryogonal I went kind of hard on with like the perspective.
Yeah.
He was oddly fun.
Yeah. No, I that's cool because I actually now that you mention it, I remember seeing like the I think the amount of practice you've gotten has really improved your drawings. Like I remember at the beginning, like some of your drawings were kind of flat, kind of it felt like you
Yeah.
were just getting started. And as they went on, it's like, oh man, these are getting really good.
It was like I didn't even shade them for the
Yeah,
longest time because
yeah,
I whipped out Bulbasaur
yeah.
in like I don't know like a couple minutes. I'm like this is gonna be the only way I'm gonna be able to stick with this is if I make them like as simple as possible. Just whip it out,
Right.
right? But then like I started like getting really into it, and then at a certain point I started like shading them too. I should have started shading them like forever ago. It wasn't until like the last like two generations or something that I started actually shading them.
I think you made a good call because I think, like you said, you would have gotten burnt. I mean, if it were me, I would have gotten burnt out a lot earlier if I
Yeah.
had to shade every single one.
I think that's stuff that I learned doing that Nuzlocke comic, right?
Yeah.
Is like how to pace yourself, how to like change what you're doing to make it easier.
Mhm. Did you have a least favorite Pokemon to draw?
Uh, well, Celesteela took me like 4 hours.
Oh, jeez.
So like that one sucked. Like the end result's kind of good, but like that one took me forever. Same with Eternatus. Eternatus also took me forever.
Eternatus was going to be the one I would guess because
Yeah.
that's crazy looking.
Other than that, just like mostly like the humanoid Pokemon. I'm just like I'm not super into those. So like I dread getting up to them. It's like, oh now I gotta draw fucking Machoke.
You played some Final Fantasy Tactics, Tears of the Kingdom. Are there any other games you've been playing lately?
Final Fantasy 9 I just started.
Oh yeah.
I've never been able to finish like a core series Final Fantasy game. Like I've tried like 1, 2, 5, 7, I guess 14 counts, and like I can never get like I keep getting stuck. But like 9 has always been the one that I've like looked at longingly like since childhood. So like I'm gonna pull up like guides and stuff. Like I'm going to beat it. But like I just started that.
Okay.
That's been pretty fun so far.
Nice. Yeah, RPGs are a commitment.
They are. That was another thing that drove me away from doing reviews is that like I did a review for Digimon World 1 and like that one got like a lot of attention right at the beginning. So I'm like, oh cool. I'll just do a bunch of Digimon games. Little did I realize that like the next two games were like 120 friggin' hours, the grindiest thing I've ever played. It's like, how am I supposed to get a video out in a month when it takes me a month just to play the game?
Right?
Because like at a certain point I decided like I was gonna focus on monster tamers. It's like, well, that like I really like monster tamers. That'll be my niche. That'll be fun. But then they're all super long. They're all so long.
Yeah, yeah. It's I I can't remember the last RPG I finished. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Are Pokemon and Digimon your favorite series, would you say?
For like games,
Yeah.
I think my favorite game series is actually Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah.
But like it's a lot of the same reasoning though. I like the monsters, right? And like I like the ecology of it all. But like yeah, like Digimon's definitely gotten up there since I've like actually sat down and like played through the world games.
Mhm.
But like outside of the world games, I haven't really enjoyed the other ones as much though. Because like I like the VPET aspects that they added, and then like we got like Cyber Sleuth later on, and it was like more of a generic JRPG, but then like there's just Digimon in it, and it's like this is not what I'm here for. I'm here for the monsters, right?
Right.
So it's hard to call that series like one of my favorites because there's just like a select handful that they don't do anymore that I like those ones.
Right. Yeah. Digimon, I've barely played, like I've played a little bit of World 1, World 2, Cyber Sleuth, but I haven't finished any
Mhm.
of them.
Yeah,
Um,
they're hard. They're so hard. Especially World 1. They don't handhold you at all. You have no idea how to get what you want or what you're supposed to be doing. Like I found like a really good guide for that game. And even then I struggled to get like I have the strategy guide. I've had the strategy guide since I was 13. That thing is useless.
yeah.
There's that thing is not helpful at all.
So
So I
what's your
guess
favorite of the world games?
uh probably one.
It is one still, even though it's so difficult.
But like I feel like it's a lot of nostalgia
Yeah.
because like as a kid I didn't know what I was doing, but I would just wander around the world and have my Tyrannomon and it's just like this is just chill. This is like I like the vibes of it, you know? And
Right.
like there's just like you're walking around nature and it's just like there's just like nature sounds. It's like this is good. This is a good vibe.
Right.
It's just such a good game to just wander around in.
Okay, I gotta, since I asked you about the video games, I gotta, and I see those posters in the background, I gotta ask you about anime now. So, what's your favorite anime?
It's Gurren Lagann.
It is awesome pick.
Yeah.
That is probably my second favorite.
Yeah.
Full Metal is
Like
my top.
oh sick. Like One Piece is like creeping up on it, but Gurren Lagann just like it has that fucking oomph to it.
It's so good.
It is phenomenal. The amount of people that I have got into it after finishing it is just like it's great listening to like them gush to me about it. And it's like, yes, dude, I fucking know. It's so good.
How about some of your other favorite series?
Well, there's One Piece, obviously. Um, what other anime am I into? I've been watching a lot of Digimon lately. I've just
Yeah.
been on like a couple year long just like Digimon kick. And like you hear people talk about like season one and like Tamers and stuff. Cross Wars is oddly really good. Like just like the characters never had their goal out of sights, and it was just like really cool seeing like different Digimon like fused together and stuff. It's like I think Cross Wars might be like my favorite Digimon series right now.
I'm not up to date on my Digimon at all. Is Cross Wars one
Well,
of the newer shows?
it was 2010,
Okay, so
so yeah, and
9
I
years ago.
think it was actually the last one that got a dub.
Oh, really?
Short of I think the new adventure is currently getting dubbed. I could be wrong about that.
And then I think the movies got dubs, right? The newer movies.
Did they?
I want to say they did,
I
but
don't know if we got any movies after the first one. Did we?
didn't they? Or there might have been some weird like localization stuff where they split a series into movies when they localized it, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, Digimon Adventure Try.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, okay. That was it was like seven movies and then they chopped that up into an anime.
Right.
Okay, I
That's
totally forgot about that. I was watching those. I got like three in and then I got bored of them.
yeah. Well, they're just aren't they sort of recaps of the older series, or are they
Well,
continuation?
they're a direct sequel to the first series.
Okay.
Um, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. Like they didn't reach like most of their Digimon did not reach like the mega stage in the original series. So they all reached their mega stage in this. And then I got to that, and then I'm like, well, what else is there to look forward to?
Right. Like they're not going to go Super Saiyan God Digimon.
Yeah, I don't know. They might. They probably do. I think like Agumon and Garurumon or Gabumon get like a special form in like the last one or something, which I've seen, and they're just humanoid. I'm like, whatever. Hercules Kabuterimon is really cool in that though. He's just like really big and he just like solos everyone else. It was rad.
I gosh, I'd like to get back into Digimon because I loved Tamers, I think was my favorite of the
Yeah.
series. Um I liked season one, season two. Season four is where I sort of fell off and stopped watching and stopped caring.
Yeah, when they started being the Digimon,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
that's always the biggest complaint. I've heard from like other like deeper Digimon fans that that season was actually like really good. So like I think I need to like go back and rewatch that after I'm done. I'm watching Atmon now. I'm just like watching through all the Digimon series.
How do you have time with your animations and your and
I'm a freelancer.
yeah,
So like I make peanuts, but like my schedule is my own.
that's awesome.
So I just like I'm drawing like YouTube thumbnails for people, right? That's like my main like way I'm making money. And like I'm just sitting here. It's like I could be working on a YouTube thumbnail and I could just have Atmon running. You know what I mean? So it's just
I
like so like anime is so easy to get through.
I understand you're also working on a game,
Yeah, kinda.
kind of.
I've been chipping away at it since like 2019. Like it's just a passion project, really. So like I think I've got like 60 out of 200 monsters designed, and I have like a battle system that I kind of like. Um, and that's kind of as far as I've gotten. It was conceptualized as a like a tabletop RPG, like a D&D type thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Because there really isn't anything like monster tamery in that genre, right?
Yeah.
But now like as I'm building it more, I'm realizing that like playtesting for 200 creatures is ludicrous. So it actually might be better on my time to make a video game out of it so that I could playtest the encounters like quicker
Yeah.
and like even get help doing that and then convert that into a tabletop RPG once everything's like balanced.
Yeah, that'd be
Because it,
interesting.
it it's so hard to like I could actually grab it right now. I just got
Yeah.
like this hex board that I was building to like play it on a whiteboard,
Uh-huh.
right? With just like little pieces that I've made.
Okay.
And like I have to bring it to other people's houses to like play test this game I made. And it's so slow going, you know? Like I started it in 2019 and I've had like two playtest sessions really.
So if you
So
make a
like
video game out of it, would you have someone else program it, or do you know some programming? Are you gonna learn?
I know very little programming.
Okay.
Like very, very little. I've been just like dabbling around with it.
Hmm.
Like I think I got Game Maker and I was like I'm gonna learn Game Maker by making like a really simple like VPET kind of deal. And I got as far as making an angry orange cube that bounces around the screen but doesn't leave the screen. That was so hard. It was so hard to make him not just leave. So that is
Yeah.
like the extent of my programming.
Yeah.
I picked up like Unity because like you can use it for free until you go to sell a game, right?
Right.
So I've just been like messing around with it, but I haven't really sat down and like really like tried to get into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Program.
just a passion project, really. I don't even know if it's something I'm gonna like sell eventually, you know?
If you could, that would be awesome. That sounds right up my alley. Like
It's like it's kind of thing where like once I have like all the rules and stuff set up, I might just like throw that online. Here,
yeah.
play my game, guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it got popular, you could use that to boost your YouTube channel or something.
Yeah. I mean, my YouTube banner even has one of my creatures in it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you about that because I see some Pokemon, some Digimon, and then some creatures I didn't I assumed that it was an OC.
Yeah, it's Tico, my little lizard guy sitting on Chameleos's head.
Nice.
I was like shoehorn that in there at some point.
Very nice. Have you ever been in a competitive Pokemon or Digimon or anything like that?
I used to go like the video games or like cards or what?
Anything.
I played like a bit of Smoggin in college.
Yeah.
Um, but I hate losing.
Yeah, people are crazy good at that.
And I'm one of those Pokemon fans where like if I'm not using my favorite Pokemon, then like what's the point of it?
Right.
So like
Same way.
when the like I think like the meta got like really shoehorned around like when like megas came out, and like every like top 10 party was like the exact same. I looked at that and I'm like, I think I'm done forever.
Yeah, I remember watching the last Pokemon Championship, or maybe not this year's, but last year's, and
Mhm.
it's like every team they kept repeating the phrase. All right, so he's coming out with his Shadow Rider Calyrex, and
Yeah.
he's using his Shadow Rider Calyrex to use the dark energy, and I don't know, I couldn't keep track of
It's
it.
like I remember the one worlds when like Mega Evolution was like, legal, and like everyone was running like Mega Kangaskhan and like Landorus and Amoonguss, and it's like this is boring. This
Yeah,
isn't fun.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like I would jump into Smoggin like competitive with like a Breloom and a Shuckle. Like I wanted to use my favorites, and like I went like fairly even. Like I'm proud of that, but like I wasn't getting anywhere, so I just kind of walked away.
Yeah, yeah, it's really hard to get into, especially if you wanted to get into the games, like having to do the breeding, the IVs, the
Oh
and
yeah.
everything. Can't even
I
imagine.
think like I got into like IVs and like EVs and like around like Gen 4 actually. And it sucked. And it's gotten better, but it's never not sucked.
Yeah.
So like I think I have like I've got like a fully IV'd EV'd Charizard and a Shuckle in my Pokemon home, and that's like it. That's all I've got. Just so I can sit on them and never have to breed them again.
That's pretty good. That's better than me. I think I got like I probably bred like 10 Merrills because I wanted to get a fully like
Yeah.
maxed out Merrill because that's my favorite Pokemon. That's about as far as I got. I
Yeah.
tried 10. I was like, no, that's enough. I'm done.
No, I think it took me like the better part of a week just to like breed one of them.
Yeah.
And it was stuff like oh, what game was it? It was like Pokemon Black or like X or something. I bought a like perfect IV Ditto off like eBay. So it was just like a hacked like perfect shiny Ditto for like $2 on eBay, and I used it for like all my breeding. I don't know what game it's sitting on now, but it's like I was into it for like a little bit. It was like, oh, I'm gonna breed like a whole bunch of whatever, and then I got like a couple, and I'm like, well, this is it.
So if you have a perfectly bred Ditto, does that like double your chances of having a perfectly bred offspring, or how does that work?
So if you, what item do you give it? I don't remember the item you give him, but it increases the chance of him passing on his IVs to his offspring.
Okay.
So the more perfect IVs in the parents, the better chance there is to get perfect IVs in the children.
Right. Okay. Do you have a favorite video game?
Spyro the Dragon.
Oh, I love Spyro.
Like I'm sitting here talking about like all these monster tamers, and
Yeah,
it's like Pokemon Gold is up there. Like a lot of nostalgia reasons for that, but like number one was like Spyro the Dragon. I was a PlayStation kid when I
that's
was
awesome. I
young.
never would have guessed with all the
Yeah,
Nintendo and Pokemon and Digimon stuff everywhere on
yeah,
your
right.
social
Well,
media.
I played Digimon World a bunch as a kid, right? And that
Yeah.
was one of my early PS1 games.
Hmm.
But just like the first Spyro, I can like 100% that game in like 5 hours, and I'll just like do that on call because I'm bored. Like that game is my happy place. I love that game.
That's awesome. So the first is your favorite of the
Yeah.
trilogy?
Like I don't think the first is the best game. The first is my favorite game. It has like certain vibes to it. There's creatures in there that are like actually kind of scary,
Yeah.
like in Jocks. Like those guys scared the crap out of me as a kid. And it's like you get to the second game and like all the enemies are like smoothed over and goofy, and I'm like, I get what you're doing, but the first one was like all over the place, and I loved it.
I am. So what did you think about the Reignited trilogy?
I loved it until I got to like the third game. I think playing the Reignited trilogy was the switch in my brain that's like, oh wait, the third game wasn't super good. But like yeah, like I 100% the first game and then the second game, and then I got to the third game and I got like 3/4 through it, and I'm just like, oh, this isn't very fun. I'd rather play through the first two because they definitely put like all of their love and attention in the first game, like redesigning all the dragons and stuff, and like all the worlds, like the artisan land. As a kid, I never realized, like I never thought, like what does that mean? But in the Reignited trilogy, they made like all of the things like art themed,
Right?
like all the dragons, like that blew my mind. That game amazed me. I had a giant smile on my face playing through that the whole way.
I felt the same way, I totally agree with you because I didn't think about it at all as a kid. Artisans, I just thought it was a name, but yeah, it
Yeah,
totally makes sense what they did
never
with
thought
it.
about it. And like
Um,
you're going to like Dark Hollow and there's like bookshelves and stuff, and it's like this is so good.
yeah, yeah. My only complaint is that I feel like in the second game in particular, they went a little overboard with some of the redesigns. Like some of the characters that I really liked, the just spotty like
Oh yeah,
dots for eyes, and then they gave them like these really big, like overly detailed eyes, and I was like, ah, that's a bit
yeah.
much.
Or they got those like the eyes are like a 2D plane that's like hovering in front of their face.
Yeah,
Like I loved that.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure it's mostly nostalgia, right? I love just the crunchy PS1 vibes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Even when you compare it to newer games, like I feel like the Spyro trilogy was better than most, if not every 3D platformer on like the PS3, 360, PS4. It wasn't until recently that we started getting some really good ones again. Like I think Hat in Time was really good,
Well, that time was so good.
right? I haven't finished it, but the new Ratchet and Clank seems like it's pretty good.
Ah, my old roommate got a PS5, and I'm like, cool, I can play Ratchet and Clank. And then I played like the first like couple hours, and then like I don't know, life happened and we ended up splitting up, so I never got to finish it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's on Steam though,
Yeah,
which like what? There's
right?
why buy a PS5?
I've been
That's the
saying the
only good
same
game.
thing. I got a PS5 like right after it launched, and I got like two games for it, and then they
Yeah,
started porting everything to PC. And I was like, why did I even get this? I
yeah. It's
prefer
like
just
everything on PS5 is either like also on PS4, or they have like the two good exclusives, friggin' Ratchet and Clank and Astro's Playroom, and that's like a 1 hour tech demo.
right.
Super fun. Absolutely love that game.
It is good.
Like going on a tangent, just like growing up as a PlayStation kid, seeing all the references and stuff in Astro's Playroom, that game was so good.
It was really good. What were some of your other favorite games on PlayStation?
Oh, well, I love the Spyro series, right? And I love the Crash series. I think Crash Team Racing was like the first game I ever 100%ed actually.
Wow, that's tough. CTR is hard to beat just like normally.
Yeah. Yeah, getting all the relics and like the CTR tokens and stuff. Yeah, that game took like a good chunk of my childhood just alone.
Yeah.
What else did I play on PS1? It was mostly just those. I stuck to those. Played a little bit of Croc, but like never got very far. Played a bit of Digimon World, but didn't get very far. Demo discs. So many demo discs. I just like those.
Demo discs are really good. Do you have a favorite demo? Do you remember?
Uh the Spyro the Dragon demo in one of them because there's like different like there's different demos as like the production goes along, right?
Yeah.
So like I've got like a couple different Spyro 1 demos over like different discs, or like I think they had a demo on like a Crash game or whatever. I think that was the later games actually. But I remember I had a demo where like some of the gem placements were different and stuff. Like in the Artisan Homeworld, there was like a key and a chest, which there wasn't that in the finished one. So like I remember like I did the demo and then I played the actual game and I'm like, wait, things are different.
Where's the key? Yeah.
Where's the key in the chest? It was like I think that's the only difference. It was the key in the chest and like some portals weren't working yet. But that was enough to just like blow my little like 8-year-old mind.
I prefer Spyro to Crash, but thinking about the demos specifically, I
Yeah.
had a demo disc that had the China Great Wall of China Pura
Oh, from
level
Crash
from Crash
3?
3. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played that demo for that level
That's
so
one of
many
that
times.
that's like one of the best levels.
It is. It's
Those
so
friggin'
good. I loved that demo.
like I hear from Crash fans that they hate the runner levels. They're
Really?
my favorite. I love those. Like Hog Wild in the first one, just
Right?
like the total tonal change of the music
They're
and
so
just like how
good.
fast paced it is. It's so good. Those are the best levels.
They really are. What's your favorite Crash game?
Uh Two.
Two. That's a good choice.
I think it's two. Whereas
Yeah.
like Crash 1 has the same kind of like rough vibes that like Spyro 1 has, but it's also like really hard.
Yeah.
So like I didn't play it a ton as a kid, so I don't have that nostalgic connection to it. Whereas like 2 was really where they like figured out what they were doing, and then 3 was like an extension of that.
Mhm.
And I like how they did it in 2 more than 3. I think 3 was just like it was just shorter or like easier, I found.
Yeah, and it had a lot of gimmick levels. A lot of people didn't like how many gimmick levels it had.
Yeah. So 2 is definitely my favorite.
So Spyro's your favorite game. Doesn't have much of a story. Do you have a game that has just like your favorite story or narrative?
Maybe Blue Rescue Team?
I've even heard of that
Like
game.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Blue Rescue
Oh, right,
Team.
right, right. Okay.
Yeah. Just because I think that's the only game that I played through and I cried at the end.
Wow.
Like because this like I loved that game. Well, it's like that game came out and it was like you can be the Pokemon, and I'm sitting there like that's all I ever wanted. And then like I played through it and it was like the first game that like you actually have like this real connection between like a different like another character, right? And like I don't know if you've finished that game.
No, I haven't.
Okay, well it ends fine, but there's like you know sad bits in it. Like people who've played it, they know. Yeah, I cried at the end of that, and then immediately restarted it and played through it again. Like
Oh,
I finished that game twice before the commercials for it stopped running. Like that game really captured me.
I gotta play that one now. I've been meaning to for years, but I don't know, just haven't. It's one of those things I just haven't gotten around to.
I definitely recommend it. I think like most people like the sequel more, but I think it was because the first game was like it was fresh and it was new, whereas
Right.
the sequel was like a lot of rehashed ideas. The second one just like didn't do it for me. It was the first game. The first game really got to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about favorite game soundtrack?
Oh, Pokemon trading card game on like Game Boy.
Oh, that does have a really good soundtrack. Gosh, that battle theme gets stuck in my
Yeah,
head like
the the the
forever.
tune that plays when the game is paused, the freaking pause theme is just like it goes way harder than it ever needed to.
That's the one that's like
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like that doesn't convey it to like people who haven't listened. Like I know exactly the point you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
that game was that soundtrack went way too hard.
right. Have you ever been into the card game outside of that game?
Yeah, I went to a league for a while actually.
Oh yeah,
I went to a few tournaments in like 2008.
that's cool. How far did you get?
I the first tournament I ever went to, I came second,
Wow, that's pretty good.
which was absolutely I just had a really good deck at the time. It was
Yeah.
like Secret Wonders Mag Mortar, where it was like you attach an energy to him and he heals, and then he also does more damage. So I had like half my deck was energies, which is like not recommended. But my Mag Mortar could hit up to like 600 damage
Yeah.
when like the highest HP in the game was like 200.
Oh wow.
So it's just like I wrecked shop that first tourney, and then I think like I went back the year later, um, and they rotate out sets as you go. So like most of my good cards were rotated out at that point, and I'm like, well, that sucks. Um, and they released a Gardevoir card that people were running that would it would do more damage to me based on how many energies that I had. So it just hard countered everything I was doing. And I was like, I'm just done. I'm not playing that anymore. Fire types aren't cool anymore.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming games that you're looking forward to?
What games are coming out?
Feel
There's
free to.
so many games come out, and then like I can't afford half of them. Like friggin' Baldur's Gate 3. I still haven't picked that one up.
I
What
was
games are
just
coming out?
I was just talking with I think Tomato Ghost about Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Like
is that your
how
second one?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Um it was so weird how like I had no idea that game was coming out, and then all of a sudden everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea it was coming out. I never played the first two,
No, me neither.
but like, and I was like, whatever. And then they're playing it, and it's like, oh, it's just video game D&D. I want that.
Right? It sounds really
That's
good. I had
great.
no idea what how like anything about it outside of that, but it sounds good.
Yeah, Mario RPG.
Oh yeah. That's I
I'm
think that's the same thing Tomato Ghost said.
I'm pumped for that
It's
because
awesome.
that was one that I played like forever ago, but like I never finished it. Like
Mhm.
the end boss just walled me, and it
Yeah.
was like I would have to like backtrack through his castle in order to go grind, and I was like, I don't want to do that, so I just stopped right there,
And
right at
knowing
the end boss.
and knowing Nintendo, they'll probably like sneak some like extra. tool to like power you up near there if it's too
Yeah.
difficult,
Yeah,
or do
they'll
something.
slip in a swift sail or
Yeah.
whatever. Can't think of anything else that's coming out.
Yeah, there's so many games that have come out just in the last year that I'm like
Yeah.
trying to get through.
I was excited for Tears of the Kingdom, and that was freaking good. It's like, what else have I been playing?
How many hours do you have in Tears of the Kingdom?
Uh, Not a ton. I don't have it finished.
Oh, okay, neither have I.
I got like the four temples or whatever, and then I think the next thing is like I gotta go fight like Phantom Ganon or whatever in like the castle.
Mhm,
And there's like a fifth ring or something, and you get it like underground.
mhm.
And like the underground's cool, but it's kind of a slog to get through. Like you're inching your way forward in the dark. I'm just like I'm not about it.
Yeah.
So like I got to that point, and I'm just like I'm gonna go play Monster Crown for a bit or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games that I've been looking forward to because
I kind of did the same thing with like Breath of the Wild though, whereas like I got like to the point that I could fight Ganon, and I was like that fight doesn't look fun. I'm gonna go put on a lizard mask and hang out with the lizards for a while until I get bored. I'm so bad at finishing games. I never do it outside of like completing them from for the channel really.
yeah, I'm the same way. I'm
It's
like,
like playing games for the channel was like the incentive I needed to like stick to games and finish them. I'm so bad at just not finishing them.
yeah, I still haven't finished Scarlet or Violet.
Okay, I finished that. Because those games aren't like they're not super hard.
Yeah.
So it's like what I end up doing is I'll get to like a boss or something, where like this boss, like I can't beat him in like my first three tries or whatever, and I'm like, see you later.
Right.
Or like it's an older game and like the end boss is just like if you haven't specced out for that end boss, you just can't win. Like I was playing like Dragon Warrior Monsters on like Game Boy, and like I got like to the end boss, and she has like the fastest creature in the game, and it has an AOE insta kill. So it's like I can't even do anything. Turn one starts, boom, 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 all my guys are dead. It's like, what do you want me to do?
I'm just trying
Freaking
to
old
think,
games are awful for that.
right? Yeah. Some of the games that I've like gotten to the final boss of and just had to stop or like look up the ending online.
Yeah.
I did that with uh what's that indie game? Cave Story.
Oh.
I did that with Final Fantasy X because I was terrible about leveling up my characters.
Yeah.
I think I might have done that with Final Fantasy VIII as well. And in going earlier, like I could never beat any of the Mega Man games. Like
Oh, Mega Man is so hard.
so hard.
Mega like I got to the Yellow Devil in Mega Man 1 and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. There's no way. Absolutely no way. So like I got that far and then just kind of walked away.
I think the only classic Mega Man game I've beaten legitimately is Mega Man 10
Oh,
because they
sick.
added like all these like easy mode features.
I think I beat like Battle Network on like Game Boy Advance.
Yeah,
I think that was it. That was like my first Mega Man game when I was a kid.
yeah. Do you like the Mega Man series?
I like them like visually and like conceptually. They're too hard for me.
They're so
I'm
hard.
not good at video games. I can't
So
beat
hard.
Mega Man. There's no way.
I'm the same way. If you do ever decide to give them a try, Legends isn't that hard, and the other Battle Network games aren't
Which one
too
is
hard. They're
Legends?
just
What
they
console
grind.
is that on?
It's on PS1.
Oh, oh, that. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that one's been on my list for a while,
I'd
actually.
highly recommend that one. It's super good.
Well, it's got that PS1 chunky 3D model vibe where I'm just like, even if the game's awful, if I'm just staring at it, I'm having a good time.
Have you played Brave Fencer Musashi?
I have not.
That's another PS1. Like you gotta play it if you haven't.
I it PS1 is such a good console. There is just always more stuff to find and run into. Like I decided to start doing monster tamers for my channel, and I didn't it didn't even cross my mind at first to even look at the PS1 library. I'm like monster tamers, that's all like Game Boy Advance
Right.
and like Game Boy and stuff. But no, there's like a bunch of monster tamers for friggin' PS1
Yeah.
that I had no idea. There's always more cool stuff to find.
Have you played any of those like indie monster tamers that are coming out now? Like
Um I keep trying to play Monster Crown,
Hmm.
but I keep getting like stuck or sidetracked and stuff.
Yeah.
I picked up Patch Quest,
That's
which is
cool.
like a roguelike mon game where you're just like capturing monsters and like riding them.
Okay.
And I think I got up to the end dungeon before they had made the end dungeon, so I had completed everything there was to complete at the time. And like, if I spend a couple months away from a game, I just don't get back into it. I
Yeah.
actually got like, I got a review code for that one,
Oh, nice.
and I streamed it one time, and they've accepted that as coverage. But I wanted to do a video on it. That's like since I've walked away from game reviews, that is the only one I have left that's like mostly scripted,
Yeah.
and then I just like haven't made a video out of it.
Do you stream very often?
I go through bursts where like I like to stream my art
Hmm.
because like when I'm doing the daily Pokemon, I'll do all seven for the week in like a 4 hour stream,
Yeah.
and that was like my one stream of the week, and that was great. And then like I'll stream animations for a bit, but then like every once in a while I'll just get sick of streaming. And I
Yeah.
just won't for a couple months, and then I'll come back to it. I get burnt out on it. Streaming's not super fun for me.
Yeah. It's time consuming. Like people expect you to do these like 2 or 3 hour streams.
Yeah, it's like you gotta be on too. You gotta be like entertaining, and I
Mhm.
just it's exhausting. I'll finish the stream and then I'll just stare at the wall for like 20 minutes. Like I'm so toast.
Yeah. Do you, besides this interview, have you done any collaboration work with anyone?
I do a lot of uh just like shoehorning like people's like sonas and stuff and like my animations and things.
Oh
I
yeah.
had like Grenade Man Blitz on like a few videos. Who else?
I got to reach out to him. He's probably next on my list.
Oh hell yeah, he's a good dude. I've done like a few just having like cameos in or something. Like my Digimon World 4 video, I had a few buddies just like play with me for the end bit because like it's a multiplayer game. So like I had like my one buddy who's like a Smash streamer, uh freaking Badman Reviews, uh and Digital Hazard, who's like a Digimon streamer. Oh, the first one was Venrix. I
Oh,
didn't name drop him, but he's like a Smash streamer. Yeah, so just like I had like them in, and like we just played the game for like 2 hours, and I just like chopped it up into just the fun bits.
nice.
I love just like I love just like jamming people in there.
Yeah.
There's like sometimes like the tiniest cameos. Like I had Carney X, which is another Digimon tuber. I had like I think it wasn't even a Digimon video. It was like Jade Cocoon, and there was like a character, just like a creature named Karn, and I was like Karn, and I had him on just to go like what, and that was it.
That's great.
I,
Love that.
I'll plan out this whole thing just to have like not even a second of footage of them because that's so funny to me.
Yeah, I love that. No, yeah, like, and that's totally your style too. Like your recent animations, like the slapstick in them is so good.
Yeah, yeah, I've been putting like people's sonas and stuff in those just like I need like a secondary character sometimes, and it's just like I may as well throw them in there. It's just a fun thing to do.
Right. Do you have any advice for others that want to get into freelancing or animating or anything along those lines?
I guess the best advice I could give is make sure you enjoy doing it before you like want to make a career out of it, right? Well, it's like it was like the daily Pokemon. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't enjoy doing that, right? It would have been so like I'd be pulling my hair out trying to stick to it, right? But it's something that I already love to do. So it's like find something that you would do for free and make your career out of that. It's like I wouldn't have stuck to game reviews for 8 years if I didn't enjoy it, right? And it's like I still enjoy it. I still have that itch to scratch, right? I'll probably come back to reviews. If I do, it'll be like really seldom. I'm not gonna be like stressing myself out like doing one a month like I was before for no pay. Like what was I doing? I was just stressing myself out over nothing. It's like I'll probably come back to that because it was fun, but like I'm gonna take a break from it for a bit to do the animations.
Yeah. Well, thank you for hopping on the call today. It's been
Oh
awesome.
hell yeah. Okay.
Do you have anything else you'd like to plug
Anything
while
else I
you're
like to plug? Uh, watch my cartoons.
Yep.
And
Grant.
One Piece. Watch One Piece. Watch One Piece.
Is it
More people
really
need to
worth it?
watch One Piece.
It's so long.
It's not long enough.
Really?
Really. Like you start watching it and you're like, oh, it's way too long. It's so long. And then at a certain point, it just switches, and you're like, there's an ending to this. I want this forever. like like people complain that like the episodes are like they're paced out too slow, and it's like, no, I want more. I
Yeah.
want as much of this as I can get. It's just like the world is phenomenal. The characters are fantastic. It is like I consider myself like a cartoon lover above an anime lover. So it is the cartoon of anime. It is just everything I've wanted.
We didn't
It's
touch
perfect.
we didn't touch it all on that. If you got a few more minutes, what's your favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon. I think Gargoyles is really good, but like it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Futurama was one that I watched a ton of as a kid.
Yeah. Any
Yeah, probably Futurama. It's
okay.
just the jokes in that are so good. Like at one point, I think it was like the trash episode where they're like sending like a giant ball of trash like up to block another ball of trash or whatever, and like Fry goes to like press the button to launch it, and he just like misses, and he's just like oops, and then hits it. And it was just like a tiny little like blink and you miss it thing, and it is the funniest. I laughed so hard, I was crying to just this stupid little gag. No other cartoon really does that for me. That was just it's so dumb. It's perfect.
Yeah, Futurama is really good. What about like do you have a favorite like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network cartoon?
I've been watching a lot of Ed and Eddie lately. Like
It's really good.
like I decided to like to go back and like watch it from the beginning because I never like watched outside of it just airing. It is also fantastic, and like it definitely also has those it's like one of the first examples I can think of cartoons that just like screw with reality. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that
like stuff like plucking the moon out of the sky and just taking a bite out of it.
do you remember the episode where they talked about their outlines? Like
Yes, that
they
was the
took
same
their
episode.
I remember I was so weirded out by that as a kid. I was like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, that
Outlines?
was just that was like the chaos cartoon episode where they steal Jimmy's outline and his colors just melt,
Yeah,
and they're just like there's like hopping through dimensions. They're just zipping the sky and like I love that. I absolutely love that.
it was so crazy. Ed and Eddie did the multiverse before Spider-Man
Yeah,
Marvel.
it's like I think that's a big reason why I like One Piece too, is because like they play with that kind of garbage,
Yeah.
right? Like Luffy's a rubber man; he can do whatever the hell he wants,
All right.
right?
I'm adding One
It's
Piece to
it's
my
so
bucket
good.
list.
Yeah, dude. It's so good. Like I'm sure it's not for everybody, but it's like I put it off for so long. And then like I got like 100 episodes in, and I was like, I think this is the best piece of media anyone has freaking made. It is gorgeous.
It's got to have something good going on for it. It's been on for so long.
Yeah. It's like it's just stuff like they have like a throwaway character in like episode 2, and then he comes back in episode like 700, and he's like buff and he's done all these cool things, and like you look back and it makes sense in like the lineage of like the story and like the world. And it's just it's so good for like theory crafting and stuff. It's like, oh, how does oh man. Like I've got like a bunch of friends. I talk to them all the time about like what we think's gonna happen, right? Because it's also like it's still coming out like every week. There's so many mysteries in the world still. It's just incredible. It's just such an experience. I wish I got into it years before. Like
All
so
right.
many wasted years.
All right, I'm watching One Piece. You convinced me. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. It's been real.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
I'm
Anytime.
excited to see the episode with Tom.
Yeah, yeah. It should be coming out this Friday. And
Sick.
then yours will probably come out the Friday, next Friday, the week after that, the
Sweet.
8th. So look forward to that.
Yeah, rad.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Talk to you later.
Yep.